Welcome to the Smarter Balance and NGSS Interim Assessment Content Presentation. This video provides information on the content of the Smarter Balance, ELA, and Math Interim Assessment blocks, including the focused interim enhancements planned for the fall of 2021. Information on the content of the current NGSS Interim Assessment blocks is explained. Because interims assess specific concepts that relate to a grade level, there's a tight alignment between the assessments and the standards. All of the Smarter Balance interim blocks have blueprints that provide information on the claim, target, and DOK addressed by the items in that block by grade level. The number of items allocated to each measured category and the stimulus expectations are also specified. The blueprints can be useful to educators because understanding how the standards are assessed is valuable when aligning instruction. Blueprints and information related to the interims can be found on the Connecticut Comprehensive Assessment Portal. Let's begin by looking at the ELA interims. Some blocks assess multiple targets and standards. The Read Literary or Informational Text blocks measure 7 targets in each block, with even more standards aligned to those targets, whereas the research block measures only 3 targets. In ELA, the names of the blocks remain the same across the grades. The overview video pointed out that the focus blocks are those interim assessments that measure less than 3 targets and allow teachers to concentrate on very specific skills. Focus blocks are available in each grade and also have blueprints available. Some blocks have been reclassified as focused IABs, such as the Listening Interpret block, because it only measures 1 target. However, the content remains the same. New blocks have been developed for the 2021-22 school year and will be available for administration on September 1, 2021, when the system opens. All the new blocks for this school year are labeled as Focused Interim Assessment blocks. Grade 8 has 4 new blocks, including the Editing and Language and Vocabulary Use blocks that were created for all other grades a few years back. This information and the upcoming information for the new math blocks can be found in the Interim Assessment Overview document available on the Connecticut Comprehensive Assessment Portal under Resources. The interim assessments for math primarily address Claim 1 targets, which are the same as the cluster headings for each domain in the respective grade level. This provides for a tight alignment between the assessment and the standards, and there are some blocks that assess additional claims as well. Each grade has 1 performance task for mathematics. This task mirrors the performance task portion of the Smarter Summative Assessment. The first 2 items of the performance task are entry-level questions into the task. The remaining 4 questions of the performance task might be related to how these first 2 questions were answered, but not always. As a result of this, some of the items in the performance task need to be hand-scored. While this may seem to be overwhelming initially to add additional scoring to our teachers' already full plates, the information that they obtain about student understanding and the misconceptions will be beneficial in planning lessons, choosing tasks, and providing reteaching. As you see, the interim menu for mathematics looks different than that of the ELA. This is because of the connection to the grade level clusters. Each block, whether an interim block or focus block, assesses specific clusters within the grade level. This provides an opportunity for schools to align blocks to their current curricula. This slide provides the specific clusters assessed in grades 6 through 8. Using these blocks offers high school educators a great way to provide a standards-based assessment for students in grades 9 through 12. The focus blocks have been successful because many teachers want a more targeted assessment in order to determine the needs of their students. For the 2021-22 school year, additional focus blocks will be available for use. Again, these blocks will all be available on September 1st, 2021. Science also offers interim blocks. There are 54 NGSS interim assessment items across the three grade bands 3 through 5, 6 through 8, and 9 through 12. This includes 14 items for elementary school and 20 for each middle school and high school. Each item is aligned to a specific NGSS performance expectation or standard. The NGSS interims assess about 1/3 of the total number of the science performance expectations. This should be kept in mind when planning how to best embed the NGSS interims into science instruction. Here is a listing of the 14 NGSS interim items available for grades 3 through 5. Each performance expectation shown corresponds to a single interim item. The first number included in each performance expectation indicates grade for the standard, followed by the content area, disciplinary core idea, and specific standard. For example, 3 PS2 2 refers to grade 3, physical science, forces and interactions, standard 2. All students in grades 3 through 5 can be assigned any of the science elementary interims. There's a list of the 20 interim items and performance expectations assessed for middle school, or MS, grades 6 through 8, as you can see here. Again, all students in grades 6 through 8 can be assigned to take any of the middle school interims. And here is the list of the NGSS interim items and performance expectations assessed for high school, or HS, grades 9 through 12. Similar to middle school, there are 20 items currently available across life, physical, and earth-space science. This slide shows an example of how a typical NGSS assessment item cluster appears to the student. This example is from the NGSS practice test, since interim items are semi-secure and cannot be shown in public. The scenario, including the real-world phenomena with background information and data, appears on the left side of the screen. This example is about comparing the amount of pollution in two different Mediterranean ports. The item interactions, or series of questions related to the scenario, appear on the right side of the screen. Each item interaction assesses a piece of a larger performance expectation. You can see a few of the item interaction types in this example. All of the tools and supports for the state tests are available on the NGSS interims. This includes the embedded Desmos calculator and periodic table at grades 8 and 11. For students that require Spanish presentation, select Spanish toggle in TIDE settings. There are a variety of item types that students will complete on the NGSS interim. Here is a listing, which includes traditional multiple choice and other selected response item types. There are also constructed response items, such as creating graphs, equations, or grid interactions, which ask students to complete simple models. Experimental simulations ask students to select variables to test with instant data generated by the online system. These item interaction types are also what students see on the state summative NGSS assessments. Many of these item types are also used on the Smarter Balance Math and ELA assessments, so students should be familiar with how to respond. There are enhancements to the NGSS interim assessments being considered for the 2021 school year. The current plans call for additional items to be added, including shorter, standalone items, as well as more item clusters. Reporting would be improved to include results relative to performance standards. Currently, only raw scores are available for science interims. Cambium Assessment is also partnering with Tuva Labs to provide enhanced data analysis tools that could be incorporated into some of the items. You can go to the link shown above to view some of these Tuva data analysis tools. Of course, we will be sharing further details about these enhancements once more is known. For more information on the interim assessments, visit our CSDE interim assessment webpage or contact a consultant to answer any of your questions.